Welcome, welcome. We're rolling here. We are at Talisman, New Age Store in Monroe, Connecticut, Route 25, across from the old skating rink. We are here with Laura Lenhard.
Hi.
Laura Lenhard, who I call Laura the Irish Witch. Do you like that title, Laura?
I am almost as much Italian as I am Irish, but
Look at
that's
that.
okay.
She's
but
half Italian and half Irish.
That's okay. My grandmother always said that only the Irish counted. So.
Only the Irish counts. What part of Italy is the other half from?
It is from the north of Italy, and I don't know.
That makes you a German. She's German. Because northern Italy is populated by Germans who invaded.
Dear God. But you know what? My grandfather was a blue-eyed blonde.
There you go. He was German.
Maybe.
Most of the northern Italians are German. They're called Lombards.
Really?
Yeah, the Lombards are German.
Aliano. His last name was Aliano.
Well, Frank Sinatra probably had Danish blood as well, because the Danish invaded Sicily.
Huh.
But here we are. We're doing this interview, and hey, Laura is a witch.
I am.
That's right. Laura, I want to ask you about Halloween. You know, Halloween is coming, and people are saying, oh, let's put little costumes on the kids. But that's not what Halloween is really about, is it?
Well, the Christianized, Americanized version is, but the actual day of Samhain is something very different. Dates back to over 2,000 years ago from the ancient Celts, who believed that the veil was very thin between the living and the dead at this time of year, and that sentiment is echoed throughout many cultures around the world. This time of year, in an age before the internet, before mass media, when you see collaborative ideas in continents, we have to wonder if maybe that doesn't in fact make it more valid or true. Certainly seances, the idea of being able to reach beyond the veil and communicate with our beloved dead, or not so beloved dead, is prevalent. So it actually began as a New Year's Day. It was the day before New Year's. Samhain means summer's end, and they believed that November 1st was in fact the first day of their calendar year. So they lit bonfires, they did sacrifices, they feasted. They also believed again that the veil was thin, so they costumed themselves so that anyone who might have malevolent wishes, they wouldn't recognize them. That's where the idea of putting on costumes came from. The idea of lighting pumpkins, leaving food outside to appease the dead, leaving food outside your door. And it just sort of, I believe it was in the 800s AD, that was when the church began to Christianize pagan holidays, and it was in 1000 AD that Pope, I can't think of his name. It's a funny Pope name.
Pope Gregory?
No,
Honorius?
no, it's an odd name. You would think Gregory, but he decreed that Halloween or Samhain would become All Hallows Eve, which became Halloween, and November 1st would become All Souls Day. So that's how it became what it is today.
Wow. Why is the veil thin? Why do the Irish believe that the veil is thin on October 31st? What inspired them to say, hey, I think the veil is thin?
Honestly, it's palpable. You know, if you're sensitive at all, and I can tell you at this time of year, I have a lot of people presenting at the store, talking about apparitions, talking about seeing shadows, and it begins to amp up in September. Something about this time of year either inspires or just seems to allow for this. It's a good question. There must be something more to it than that. Again, they believed that this was the last day of fall and the winter was starting, and I think that with that transition of living, you know, obviously the summer, the spring, the spring, summer, fall, and then winter goes into this dead time. And I talk with my hands. Sorry, so we.
No, that's good. You're part of Italian. I know what you're with. Hey.
But that's wow. But that is what it was. It was that they were going from living into death, and I think that it wasn't just one day, but it was a period of time where it just got thinner, and it stays thin after certainly after October 31st. You're still gonna have that more easily accessed aspect of the metaphysical world. But there's something about that day. It's like New Year's Day. It's the day that it just seems to culminate.
Is there a correlation between the Jewish celebration of New Year and the Irish celebration of New Year? They're so close on the calendar. They both happen during the fall.
You know, you're right. I don't know. I wish I knew more about Kabbalistic and Jewish mysticism, and I don't. That's not an area that I've ever, and I don't have a huge calling for it. I have one dear friend, Carol Eisenberg. If you see this, Carol, hi. She's over in a kibbutz in Israel. She came in and asked about Kabbalah, and fortunately, synchronistically, a young man had been coming here and taking meditation who was very educated in that realm. He was also Jewish, and they became friends. So so she actually got her questions answered, but not from me. I have a couple of books on Kabbalah, but I'm not studying that. I think at this point, trying to study, and I'm sure I'll hit that, but trying to become a master, a jack of all trades, master of none.
Yeah, well, I like to do Kabbalah in the summertime on the grill, because then I have corn on the Kabbalah.
Yeah. Nice, nice.
But Laura, Halloween, what are you going to do for Halloween? How are you going to celebrate? Do witches celebrate? What do witches really do on Halloween?
I'll celebrate Halloween with my young children. They'll go trick-or-treating, and that'll be lovely on the 31st. I will celebrate a very sacred Sabbath of Samhain on the 27th of October, when we have a ritual here at the shop. It's being put on by the Connecticut Wiccan Pagan Network, the CWPN. I'm very pleased that they're coming here for that.
When is that going to be?
October 27th.
October 27th.
Saturday. At 6 o'clock. It's actually an open ritual.
6
if you
p.m.
want to
open
come.
Ritual.
Just give us a call. Let us know if you plan on attending.
What are the gods and goddesses that you will be honoring on the Irish New Year?
It will probably, it's not my ritual. I didn't write the ritual. Hecate.
Hecate, the Greek goddess of the underworld.
Yes.
The Dark Mother.
All the dark goddesses.
Also known in Italy as La Befana.
Yep.
She comes on, well, it's a long story, but the Italians don't have Santa Claus. They have the old witch, Hecate. But anyway, so you're going to have the Hecate Festival. Hecate. Woo.
I'm not. I say that. I don't know who they're going to honor. There's so many to honor at this time of year. We could do Demeter. We could be celebrating. Baba Yaga has recently become prevalent in my own life, although Kali is my deity, and Shiva.
Fantastic. Well, good Lord. I hope that everyone has a great Halloween.
It'll be nice.
This is Laura Lenhard, Talisman. Laura Lenhard, Talisman, here at Talisman New Age Shop in Monroe, Connecticut, Route 25, across from the old skating rink. And she has a fantastic selection of all your New Age and Wiccan needs. And come on in, and Laura has gems and stones and crystals and all kinds of rocks and incense. And, oh my goodness, if you need some witchcraft goods, you're going to find it here. You'll have oil to put on it. You'll get it all. You get it here at Talisman. Come on in. We'll be back. Thanks.
Bye-bye.